What's going on, Husker Corner? Brandon Holmes here, one half of the Blue Bloods College Game Time podcast and YouTube channel, a place for the fans, by the fans, dropping fresh college sports content every day right here on YouTube. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and follow me right here on my social handles. I love engaging with you guys, love interacting with you guys on the Twitter sphere, and love engaging with you guys in the comments. But let's get started for why you're here, man. Today's a big day across the country for college football fans. It's National Signing Day, right? National Signing Day. A lot of congrats to all the young men who signed their letter of intent. That is awesome. I wasn't a football player. I got to do that in track and field, and it feels great to be living your dream. So kudos to all those young men, especially the young men who will be wearing this nice red coming this fall. Now, Nebraska, I like to say you finished up the recruiting cycle strong. Now, nationally, you finished, excuse me if I'm correct, I'm looking here, number 41. People might say, Brandon, that's not that good, but just a few weeks ago, you were 61, and you ranked 10th over on the Big Ten, but I don't believe that's taking into account all the transfers. If you brought in all the transfers and all the guys that they brought in, I actually think this recruiting class is really like a top 30 for sure recruiting class. But, you know, that's not a part of the rankings. It's a rather small class, one based upon not a lot of attrition. A lot of guys stayed put after they got that extra year of COVID eligibility, and they really scoured the transfer portal, which I believe was a smart move for Frost because I believe he's on a little bit of rope, and he needs to perform early, and he got some big-time transfers. So I'm going to talk about some of my favorite guys that signed on to Nebraska, and some of them are transfers. Some of them will be incoming freshmen. But I'm going to start right here, man. The guy who I said was going to flip yesterday from Georgia Tech, he ended up flipping today, and that's Janaran Bonner, the 6'2", 200-pound receiver out of Georgia, flipped from Georgia Tech over big body. The guy I like, internet sensation, Mickey Joseph was a big part of recruiting this kid, bringing him from the boot from Louisiana, bringing in Dakota's Crawford, who stands at 6'1", 178 pounds, really shifty, speedy guy. A lot of people had him pegged to go to LSU, and shout out to Coach Joseph for bringing him in. But the guy I was really surprised about was 4-star. He's a 4-star on some sites. He's a 3-star on some sites. So I'm going to say he's a tweener, 3.5-star guy. A.J. Allen, out of Monroe, Louisiana, 5'11", about 185 pounds this year, and I'm reading his stats right now. 2,134 yards and 31 touchdowns, all-state running back. A big-time flip, was originally committed to go to TCU, and so Sonny Dykes and those guys are losing out on a big-time player there to come to Nebraska. And I love what Nebraska's doing with this running back room, man. They loaded up. One of the guys I like and I'm really excited to see coming in this year is Grant that's coming in, the transfer. Excuse me, the junior college transfer that's coming in, Anthony Grant from New Mexico Military Institute. Man, the guy's a baller. And I received a lot of heat from this because everybody said I was wrong about the thing with DeAndre Jackson. And I see with them taking Allen, that's for real, is showing me that Jackson probably isn't coming even in the fall. No matter how bad he wants to be there, they have just loaded up in the running back spot. Unless somebody ends up shakes and moving after spring ball, I think DeAndre Jackson either stays in College Station or he finds somewhere else to go. But I think Anthony Grant was a big time get. And obviously, if we're counting transfers in this recruiting class, which I am, there's a couple guys I really do like. Number one is Casey Thompson out of the University of Texas. The quarterback had a big year down in Austin, just wasn't really gelling with Sarkisian, and that's okay. Fell off towards the end of the year with a thumb injury, and that's okay. But I think the guy brings some leadership. He brings some moxie. He brings some athleticism. He brings some experience that is needed. It seems like he's going over really well already in Lincoln. And then shout out for Scott Frost and Whipple for bringing in also Chuba Purdy, man, former 4-star recruit coming out of high school. He's a 3-star in the transfer portal, kid coming out of Florida State. So, man, Scott Frost and those guys really loaded up in some of the skill positions, and I know a lot of guys saying, what about offensive line? I get it in my comments all the time. Well, Hunter Anthony coming all the way over from Oklahoma State, big-time starter at a big-time 12 program, Big 12 program, and suffered a couple injuries, but I think he's coming in ready to go. And so, man, I think Nebraska did great. The recruiting rankings might not reflect it, but if you take in transfers as well with the incoming freshmen, I think this is a top, my personal opinion, just my personal opinion. I'm no guru. I'm just a fan. I believe they have a top 30 class just off the talent that they were able to bring in. I mean, don't forget they also brought in Tommy Hill from Arizona State, the corner, 6'1", 195. The kid actually was going to go to Nebraska and committed to Arizona State last year, uses this free transfer rule to come over. And so, man, shout out to Nebraska. Was able to really fine-tune some spots, was really able to bring in some good talent, some big-time talent. And I'm interested to see what happens, man. Last but not least, I forgot they brought in, Trey Palmer from LSU, man, the former top 150 player in his recruiting class that's coming over. And so it's just showing this new coaching staff, man, they have great recruiting prowess, showing that they're going after big-time talent. I think Mickey Joseph was a home run hire, bringing them back home to Lincoln, being down in LSU in Louisiana in that southeastern recruiting ground. I mean, it's showing dividends early, and I think you're going to start seeing a lot of more big-time SEC talent coming over to Lincoln, especially if they can turn some of this talent into wins. And so I've been saying it. I'm on wax saying them. I'm on record saying however you want to say I'm saying it. I think Nebraska has a pretty big year this year. I don't know if they win the Big Ten West. I think their schedule favors them to be in competition to win the Big Ten West. But I think they could easily go from being a 3-win team last year to being like an 8 to 9 win team this year. It would not shock me. It would not surprise me. If you're going to be a Debbie Downer, just go take that somewhere else. I have no ties to Nebraska. This is just my honest observation after looking at the schedule, after looking at the talent that they brought in, after looking in the coaching staff. I think the only question mark for me is Raiola as the new offensive line coach. I think this was a swing for the fences type of hire. Either he hits and it connects and it goes well, or it doesn't go well and you kind of fall into some of the problems you had last year. And a lot of people saying, what about O-line talent? I mean, a coach can shift that. If you look at Michigan's transcending in the run game this year, it all started because the O-line coach shifted. Same talent. O-line coach shifted and was able to translate some of the blocking and some of the schemes a lot more naturally to the team, which showed results on the field. And so a coach can make all the world of the difference. So I'm excited to see what happens. So Nebraska fans, tell me what you think in the comments about this recruiting class. Tell me your expectations for next year. We're getting excited as we're getting ready to get prepped for spring ball. Once again, Brandon Holmes here, one half of the Blue Bloods College Game Time podcast and YouTube channel. A place for the fans, by the fans. We love you. Hope you guys have a great day. Go Big Red.